Yeah. And it's going down. Down, down, down. And it's going down. Friday night, flashback Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Yo, it's yours and my day. And everything is going to be okay. You know how we do. You know how we stay, huh? You know how we play. Everything's going to be okay. Hey, hey. Stacy White, hold it down for the D. I'm glad you came through to bless me. And I see my girl T Carrie right morning, noon, and night. It's always good to have you in my sights. And Carol Chamberlain, my best friend. Mi favorita. Let's go, y'all. It's the daily go get up show. You think it ain't when it is. You think it won't when it whiz. We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off left lane, no coasting. And we are in motion, man. Listen, we're going to talk about something real tonight. I want to say rest in peace to my man DMX. And it's funny that I'm saying rest in peace to DMX because I really rested him in peace earlier in the week. I knew he wasn't coming back. But when you think about his story and his struggle, I thought that we better talk about some things tonight. Now, tonight, we're talking about when you decide to mellow out and why. When you decide when you start mellowing out and why. And we're basically going to talk about when you decided to make a change in your life for good. Because, you know, there are times when you can make a change in your life, but then you might backslide, you might revert back, you may start eating chips again, so to speak, you know. But we all set goals for ourselves and we all want to improve ourselves. And sometimes it seems like when you really are on your way to getting it together, unless you really are staying on that path of keeping it together, then something tragic can happen like this. So I think that DMX's passing is going to be, or should serve as a lesson to all of us, especially the youth that are out here, because his struggle was real. So yo, we gonna get into that tonight. Now, don't get me wrong, this ain't gonna be no sad show. This is meant to be an inspirational show, but this is something that we need to talk about tonight. We need to have this conversation. When you start mellowing out, and why? When did you decide that whatever you were doing in your life was time for you to put the brakes on that thing? Either stop altogether or at the very least, slow down. 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 What's going on, my man Serious Fix, my man Troy Boy, and Teacher 1130. How you doing, my man? Good to see you coming through. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight, man. My man DMX, rest in peace, DMX. Dark Man X Earl Simmons, hell of a rapper, man. One of the best ever. One of the best on and off wax. One of the best on wax. One of the best off wax, and he deserves to be honored. But we're not just going to honor him. We're going to try to find a little of DMX inside of all of us, because I believe that a portion of his struggle may apply to all of us. What's going on, Emily Dunlap in the house? I said it, Emily. How you feeling, man? So that's how it's going down. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this your daily. The daily go get him show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains and the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the. And if you can't say Omar with the, Well, then you just say, Omar with the Arts, the Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show, all up in your area. I'm feeling like a real man should, and I'm hoping that y'all are feeling like real men and women should also. Now you might ask yourself, what is a real man? What is a real woman? We're gonna get into that at another time, but just right now, just feel real. You know what I mean? Do something real. Just get real. Yeah, I'm feeling real. This is real. This is real. This is real. DMX officially declared deceased today, April 9th, 2021. DMX turned 50 years old and in December of last year, 2020, because he's a 1970 baby with the blind cripple, the crazy. So born in my year. So when my peers died, especially my birth year peers, it means something to me because, you know, that's my direct generation. Those are my direct peers. They are in my group. So when one of them passes, it's like, damn. You start looking at yourself and you start thinking about yourself and you start wondering, I wonder if they knew, if they had any sign, any inkling, any inclination, any premonition that the day that they left here was the day that they were going to leave here. Have you ever left the house and wondered if that was going to be your last day? If you were not going to make it back home and things like that? I don't know about y'all, but I've seen fatal car accidents, cars turned on top of their roofs and things like that. And I've seen people walk away from those car accidents. And I've also seen really fatal car accidents where I've just seen crazy car accidents in my day. You know, I've been in easily over a dozen car crashes, accidents, whatever you want to call them. And I've never been hurt in a car accident, but I'm lucky. Nonetheless, when you start thinking about things that you've done in your life, and you start thinking about at times when you may have even been practicing suicidal behavior, when you may have been acting or going about your life with suicidal, reckless abandon. And when you think about DMX and you think about his drug use, when you know his story, it almost sounds like he didn't have any other choice. But we all have choices in our lives. We do. We all have choices in our lives and we make them. And the choices that work out well for us, we stand by them. And the choices that don't work out for us so well, we make excuses for them. And DMX wasn't the type of person that I've seen in interviews make excuses for his behavior. He wasn't that type. Not direct excuses, like it wasn't my fault. I've never seen him blame somebody else for his behavior. Now, I've heard him tell the story of how he got on drugs. But anybody who followed DMX throughout his career knows that his battle with drugs was different from any other performers than we probably ever heard of, or seen, or bore witness to, because he was very open about his drug use. And that's not usual. That's not something that's typical of people in the music industry. They normally try to say, well, you know, they'll normally cop out the weed smoking because it's not a drug. But you don't normally hear somebody cop out to using crack cocaine. Like, yeah, I did that and I still do that. That's my thing. You don't normally hear that. He was honest to a fault, but he was reckless to a fault. Like DMX was a different type. There ain't a whole lot of DMXs in the industry. A lot of these cats talk about how real they are, or how authentic they are, or how organic they are. No, he was the real deal. That was different. But when you look at somebody like DMX, you probably, if you think anything like me, you're probably surprised that it took this long. And here's the thing about it taking this long. Knowing what you know, if you know anything about the way that DMX lived and the things that he's been involved in, where he's been and what he was able to accomplish in life despite many of his shortcomings and behaviors. When you look at him, when you think about him, and if you followed his career from when he started to blow up, 1997 in particular, you know, from that first album, you know, like, and you know that first album was on fire. Turned around that same year, made another album. Both of them debuted at #1. Who does that? And it ain't like the first album came out in the beginning of the year. So, but you know that as reckless as he was, as crazy as he was, as wild and free seeming that he was, you would have thought that he would have died as young as a Tupac. But he lived twice the age that Tupac was. Tupac died at age 25. He died at age 50. But nobody would have thought, anybody who knew DMX, trust me, they would have thought he would have checked out at maybe at least by 35. They didn't think that he would make it that far. And when you start thinking about when he started to make a change in his life, when he decided to start mellowing out, which is the title of this show, when he started to mellow out, see, you have to really decide whether you're going to make a change in your life or not. You can't fuck around with it. If we didn't learn anything from the Whitney Houston tragic story, we should have learned that, listen, you either going to be in the fucking drug game or out of it. You got to make a choice. Now, of course, there's controversy surrounding the whole Whitney Houston passing, just like there's controversy surrounding the whole DMX. The whole story ain't out. They running around in New York looking for the drug dealer who sold them the drugs. Like, really? When we start doing that? But turns out that some other people have had near-death experiences receiving the same drug. Evidently, this ain't the normal crack. This is some extra. But yeah, it seemed like Whitney Houston was getting herself together. She was on a comeback trail, you know, getting back in the studio, trying to get her voice back, trying to get her swag back, trying to reclaim her crown. And then boom, poof. You see DMX, the past interviews I've seen with him, he was different because he seemed more sober. He didn't seem like he was high this time. Talk about a functional addict. Boom, he was that. But you could see that this time he cleaned up. But you have to make the decision about whether you're going to be clean or whether you're going to be dirty. Because the cleaner you get, the harder getting dirty again hits you. Any drug addict that has been through rehab tells you that when you relapse, you relapse worse than you ever were when you was out there. Because you're dealing with a clean body. When you're dirty, when your body is dirty, you're just adding on more dirt. It ain't no big deal. You was already dirty. It's like when kids find a dusty car or a dusty window on a car and they write "wash me" in it. Wash me on the window. When you wash something and then it gets dirty, the dirt shines way more than when it was partially dirty, you know, and it just got a little dirtier. So this is a tragic thing. This is a tragic thing that happened. And I think that we should look at our own lives when we start talking about this, or when we start examining this whole DMX death. First of all, I said it before. Rest in peace. Matter of fact, man, let's have a moment of silence on some real shit. Let's have a moment of silence for DMX. Pray if you want to, but I'd like to take a few seconds out, bow our heads and just, pray if you want to, or just have a moment of clarity. Count of three. 1, 2, 3. All right. Yeah, these celebrities come and they go, and when they died and all that, like I feel bad for anybody that passes, especially when they are in the public eye, and or something about them, about their struggles or whatever. But this DMX thing, it got to me a little bit, even though I accepted that he wasn't coming back. When I knew that he only had a little bit of brain function or whatever, when you on life support and you don't have any brain activity, it's you're not coming back. Nobody comes back from that. Nobody comes. There's a difference between being brain dead and being comatose. You can be comatose and not even be on child support, on life support. But when you don't have any brain functions and you are on. And you know what? I read something that you should call it organ support. There is no life. You're just really trying to keep your organs from failing. So the machines are keeping your blood pumping. They're keeping your breathing going through a ventilator. It's all artificial. It's all mechanical. As soon as they unhook you, you can't do it on your own. It's not life support. There's no life. It's organ support. So it's like when you come to the hospital and you feel them and it's still warm and you see their chest, you see them breathing, but you don't understand that they're not breathing. They're only warm because of the machines. The machines are keeping their organs from failing. As soon as you pull the plug, they won't be able to do any of those bodily functions, those involuntary bodily functions on their own. So it's really just a waiting game. It's a way for, the family to come and view the body before they have to view the body. You know what? I'm going to say it like this. It's a way for the family to view the person in the body before they can view the body who was a person, Okay. Narsil says George Clinton is one to admit to using. He was. Yeah. Still, he didn't admit it. See, George Clinton and them was taking all kinds of psychedelic drugs back in the late 60s and early 70s. They was dropping acid and smoking dust. They was drug addicts. They was on drugs. So, but yeah, no, so says rest in peace, DMX. But for the grace of God, there I go. What up, everyone? DMX was very spiritual, as we know. Cherry says he was different, and I love that. So honest, so honest. He told you about his drug habit, but didn't glorify it. The only person I know who can get 20,000 in the arena to praise God and wasn't a Christian rapper. He did that. And he was a hell of a performer. Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it. Emily and Mona Garris. What up, Mo? How you feeling, Mo? Good to see. Good to see. Good to see me some you. But let's talk about the DMX and all of us. Think about the things that the kind of lifestyle that you you were practicing at any point in your life, whether it was through promiscuity, whether it was through drug abuse, whether it was through gang activity, whether it was through, reckless driving. Some people like to ride motorcycles and, participate in dangerous X sports, things like that. And not necessarily in the sport, but on the street, that kind of thing. Gambling habits of any type or addictions of any type will get you in a place that you wish you never had gone before. But particularly drugs. When you have a drug addiction, there's no way you're not going to involve yourself in crime. There's no way you're not going to involve yourself in recklessness. There's no way you're not going to indulge in all types of negativity. That's not a drug that's designed for you to function in a positive way. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. It's not that you don't want to be a good person, and it's not necessarily that you are a bad person, but you're definitely going to have to run around talking about things like God knows my heart, sort of like we was talking about last week. It's a tough situation, but when you think about DMX's struggle with his drug addiction, what about whatever you had a habit of doing, or whatever addictions that seem to be overpowering you at any age or at any time frame in your life? I think that we probably have all been there a little bit. I swear to God, looking at what happened with DMX, him getting his life together and then backsliding. I swear to God, that's the reason I don't want to drink no fucking more. That's why I think that I don't even think about putting this shit to my lips no more. Other people can do it. I don't think I could. I don't want to get back to that place before, because I share a lot of stuff with y'all about, shit that I've done under the influence, but y'all don't know the half. No, but real shit. Like, man, fuck that. That was a lot of weekends. But my biggest fear was that somehow that alcohol was going to take me the fuck on up out of here. And I'm convinced that it was. I'm convinced that I was closer than I probably thought I was. And it had to go. It had to go. I was getting in too much trouble. It was like I was getting in trouble by default. Like, I can't just go out and drink and have a good time without some crazy shit happening now. Well, that's pretty much how it was going down. So I was thinking, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Y'all know, as many of y'all know, I took my last drink December 8th, 2012, right? And ever since then, like about 4 times a year, maybe more, I have a dream that I'm drinking again. And in the dream, I'm like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing? It's a recurring dream. I'm like, in the dream, I'm like, when you start doing this? Well, I'm talking to myself in the fucking dream. Like, and in the dream, I'm saying, nah, I mean, we just doing this today, but, we going to get back right. Because, I've been an inspiration to some people, and I don't want to let them down. But also, I don't want to go back to that life. I don't know what made me start drinking again. And in the dream, I don't even know. I'm trying to think if I'm drunk in the dream or waiting for the effects of the alcohol to kick in. I don't know. I don't know. The next time I have that dream, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. But honestly, it's not something that I'm proud of. Like, when I have them dreams, it's real confusing to me, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like a little haunting type of thing. You know what I mean? It's like but it serves as a reminder. It serves as a reminder to me, like, yo, you doing right. And don't even worry about drinking, because you got other shit that you got to worry about. You just, you know what I mean? Like, you trading energies right here. You good. Sucre JTX. What up, Sucre Je Toi? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate me some. You. Mona Garrett says alcohol is one as well. Shoot, I don't care what nobody say. Alcohol is the worst one. You know why? Because alcohol is legal, and alcohol is the one substance that people will convince you that you're all right doing. Like, you got to be so out of your mind and crazy dependent on alcohol for somebody to be like, no, I mean, you got to chill. Like, this is too much. As long as you go to work every day, take care of your family, not losing your home and all of that, people will tell you, you drink what you want to drink. And that's the problem with alcohol. You can go right to the store, pay your money, and walk out with all the alcohol you want to, all you can afford. When it comes to other drugs, you got to get them illicitly, and you have to do it secretly, and you have to move in silence, and you have to, keep your indulgence away from other people who don't approve of it and all that kind of shit. You can drink alcohol in church. You know how many priests are strung out on liquor? Priest, Catholic priest, father this, father that. They be turning up like crazy. They be real shit. Liquor is encouraged in the Catholic Church. They don't give a fuck. It's kind of crazy, but it's real shit. So whatever you may have indulged in your life that took you a while to get up out of it. Maybe somebody tried to advise you to clean up, get better, slow down, put the brakes on. But when did you start to mellow out? What was the antagonist? What was the catalyst that sparked you to make the change? It's different for different people. For some people, it may have been having children. And it's amazing to me that some people use having children as the reason that they stopped some of their recklessness or all of it. When you see so many people that have children and they just haunt their children with all of their fucked upness, drug addiction for the kids, alcoholism for the kids, physical, mental, emotional abuse for the kids, right in front of the kids, promiscuity right in front of the kids. Huh? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's deep as shit when you think about it. So many people. Speaking of kids, yo, did I read it right the other day when they said DMX has 15 kids? Imagine leaving 15. 15? I remember thinking to myself, like, I hope that number is wrong. Please let it be wrong. Please let it be wrong. Please let it be wrong. He said when he was 13, that's the first time he ever smoked crack. And unlike most people who start drinking first, smoking weed first, then sniffing, and then they get the crack, he's one of the few that went straight to crack because it was in a turbo blunt. Over in New York, they call it a woolly blunt. Basically, it's crack laced weed. So somebody rolled up the weed, put the crack and lace the weed with the crack, and so you roll it up, smoke it, but trust me, you ain't gonna have a weed high. You got the blast. So he said that he had been chasing that feeling ever since he smoked it for the first time. Imagine that. you 13 years old and you pretty much are strung from your first pull. So a lot of people have said that they felt like they were strung out on crack the first time they ever tried crack. It's hard for me to believe, but hey, everything starts at one. So, but my one may be different from your one. Carol Chamberlain says, when I saw what alcohol did to my family members, I knew it wasn't for me anymore. Real shit. You know, you look at a DMX, a Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Elvis Presley, all had struggles with drugs. It still doesn't feel right, you know, referring to Michael Jackson as a drug addict. Like, for some reason, it still doesn't. I'm not even a fan of Michael Jackson, but that just don't sit right with me. Like, drugs? 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 A man that used to wear masks before any pandemic was ever thought about. Drugs? You got to be kidding me. Drugs? Cal Chambers said Charlie Wilson too. Yeah. He said he was strung out on the crack. Exciting. Okay. I never, ever had a lover who could pedal to the metal and burn rubber on SUNSEVENFIVETWO. I never, ever had a lover who could pedal to the metal and burn rubber on SUNSEVENFIVETWO. I never, ever had a lover who could pedal to the metal and burn rubber SUNSEVENFIVETWO. Okay. My big sis, Robin Ming, is here to do a thing. You know you're just like a queen for a king. Thanks for swing. Getting back. Robin Ming says, that's why when I smoked weed, I rolled it and smoked it alone. Man, listen. But that was the first time he ever smoked. I mean, think about the person who, like, why would you, the first time you introduce a young boy to weed, and you're going to give him with the crack? I mean, what the fuck? Now, that had to be like 1984. People didn't know what crack was going to do, how it was going. That shit is still inexcusable. Fuck out of here. Sucre Jatois says alcohol is the acceptable silent killer. Word. It ain't all that silent. Sucre says mine was the threat of jail. Ooh, threat of jail. Okay. I don't know nobody who tried crack one time. I know some people who smoked it. They said, I wasn't feeling it. I'm like, lucky you. I was talking about Michael Jackson. She says his drug was medication, though. Those are the real drugs. The medication they made all the way in a laboratory. Those are the real drugs. Weed is not a drug. It's just a get on your fucking nerve drugs when you don't smoke drug. Should I say? It's a get on your fucking nerve substance when you don't smoke that substance. Cherry says, Cherry, Cinderella day to day. Well, it's the woman day to day with famous Cinderella day to day. Well, it's the woman day to day with fame. And she says Michael Jackson was also 50 years old when he died. Was he 50? I thought he was a little older than 50. I thought he was like 52. What? You might be right. Damn, he was 50? Yo. Yo. Taki Zori says, I know a few people who were one and done with crack. Okay. No, so says a cancer scare can erase the thought of further drinking and drugging. For some people, I know you know, Nars, that some people got that cancer scare or some other type of medical condition and kept going. And that's when you start talking about addiction, man, think about Big Pun. A food addiction? A food addiction, my brother? Do you know what Big Pun could have been? The inroads that he had pioneered, like, what? Food. Not drugs. Food. The end of his life, when he went to the fat farm, and on his record, he said, "Yo, I just lost 100 pounds. I'm trying to live." Yeah, he was really just saying that. He was paying people to sneak him food in the fat farm. Come on. He was like $5.50. I mean, you think about all the money. But if nothing else, we should learn the lesson that money is not the pathway to happiness like us broke asses think it is. It's just not. I mean, in order to have a happy life, to be honest with you, you got to have love. You need love. You need affection. You need caring. You need thoughtfulness. You need people who are there. You need time and attention. Those are really the building blocks and the foundation of what happiness is. Everything else is extra. But because it's so hard for many of us to receive love and time and attention and affection and genuine kindness and caring and thoughtfulness and just people who give a shit about us genuinely, we say, well, I can't get none of that, so I'll do this double overtime. Fuck it. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a really tough situation when you think about it. It's this DMX thing is a tragedy. It's a tragedy of great proportions, really. You know what I mean? This ain't no small thing. This is not a small death. This should mean something to all of us because, like I said, there's a little DMX in all of us. When I think about all of the wild shit that I did in my younger years or whatever, and I wasn't as wild as a lot of people that I know, but I was wilder than most people that I came across. But I still felt like I had myself under control. But I'm sure what it looked like to other people, like, yo, my mom is just now at the point where I can go out and she ain't worried about me coming back. Or she not worried about me not coming back. For years, she's stressed over that. At least like 2 decades. Because I was wild. And sometimes See, I was wild, but I wasn't out there. Sometimes people are wild and out there, just wild and out there. When you out there, that means that you're not doing your dirt by yourself. You're involving yourself in different circles of negativity, patches, different circles and cliques and gangs and groups of people that are all on some bullshit. And the threat of you compromising yourself in those situations elevates higher and higher and higher, because you're not doing, like Tretch from Naughty by Nature used to say, you ain't doing your dirt all by your lonely. You're not doing that. You're getting the team involved. So when you get the team involved, when things don't go right and you don't remember everybody that you dealt with, but everybody you dealt with remembers you. When you're out there, you might be out there homeless and not even being recognized as being homeless, because nobody really knows where you live. You couch surfing out there. You may actually live in more than one place, but that's how many places that you have people worrying about you. You don't have no foundation. You just out there. To see the words on Instagram, let me see. Okay. Taki Zori says, this doesn't sound as bad as drugs and alcohol, but in my youth, I was always ready to fight. And when called upon, I drove fast. And I was always ready to fight when called upon. I drove fast and I traveled at weird hours in any neighborhood alone. I did the same shit. That's amazing. I wasn't a fighter like you, but yeah, if I had to go, then I went. And yeah, and I stayed in foreign neighborhoods and always, and I wore big gold chains with diamonds and shit. Y'all seen my shit, but many of y'all ain't know me when I had the 60-foot chain with the piece. You know what I mean? When I heard what's his name? Prodigy, may Prodigy rest in peace. Prodigy from Mobb Deep. When I heard him say, he said something about 40-inch cables. He wore 40-inch cables. He said his piece banged glass tables. I was like, 40 inches. I went and got a 60-inch chain. Chain down to the dick. No matter how tall you are. I ain't that tall. I'm 5'10". I may be down to 5 now, 5'9" now, because the little, I don't feel 5'10". It's the little cartilage in your back, and it deteriorates after, like, over time. You might be 5'10" on your license, but that was when you was 5'10". Now, anyway, nonetheless, yeah, I'm running around 60-inch chain, big ass Sun 752 piece. I'm not a rapper. I'm not any kind of, well, I was a comedian. And I ain't never think about tucking my chain in. Ever. Like, I'm not tucking my chain. Wherever I go is where I'm supposed to go. And I was on some more. I wish motherfuckers would try me. I know they can't beat me. Like, nigga, you crazy. That is definitely the and because I'm all fat and you know what I mean, right now I ain't what I was, but when I was what I was big and muscular, you know what I mean, arms all poof, back all oof, shoulders all, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I'm pit bulling around. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. So I know if a motherfucker tried me, he was going to try to kill me because he felt like I was hitting hard enough to really hurt him. I get it. I totally get it. But I didn't give a fuck. That was the DMX in me. I had a lot of DMX in me. That's some crazy. Twice says, you 5'9" now? Maybe. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm still. Listen, I remember when I took the height test for my license. I was like, no, I'm 5'11". I'm not 5'10". They was like, Mr. McIntyre, we can give you 5'10" and a half because you are that. But they don't allow halves on your license. So guess what? We can't declare you a full 5'11" unless you're a full 5'11". I was like, I'm 5'11". They was like, sure you are. 5'10". I was like, motherfuckers, man. Bullshit ass nurses. Y'all black nurses ain't shit. I'm going to go to the white nurse. I could be I go to the white nurse. I could be as tall as I want to. I could be tall as I want to be. I'm 6'1" with the white nurse. Y'all black ass nurses. I can only be 5'10" with the black women nurse. What? 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 All right, man. I ain't fucking with you. Anyway. So yeah, like I said, Big Pun, his thing was eating. That was his addiction. And it killed him. When he was supposed to be getting himself back together, he was burning the candle at both ends. So while he was supposed to be getting himself together, he was still indulging, and it killed him. You know how heavy he had? Can you imagine what that dead body had to be like? Trying to put that on a gurney? Magnificent Morocco. Hola, mi amigo. Magnificent Morocco. You said Prince too. Yeah. Like it still don't feel right. What you mean Prince was on drugs? What do you mean? Like, that's crazy, right? Drugs? Prince? Michael Jackson? Yeah, man, that reckless. And you wonder, one thing about drug abuse, alcohol abuse, you really do have those suicidal fantasies. In your addiction, at some point, you do start to consider ending it all because you realize how hard that struggle is in your mind, because in your mind, you really want to get past this shit and beat it. And it can give you a very demoralizing feeling that you don't have what it takes to get past this thing. You can hurt your own feelings through drug addiction. And you start feeling like, man, fuck it. You get high enough, like, man, I can end this thing, because you really don't like who you are. That's one thing that's really hard for drug addicts and alcoholics to admit. They don't like who they are. Think about it. It's really very simple. If you liked who you are organically, do you think that you would treat yourself that way? Do you think that you would stay in your unnatural state all the time if you liked who you were organically? So you stay, or you chase the GMO in yourself. You chase the preservative in yourself, but you claim to love your organic self. No good, black man. No good, black man. No good. No good. No good. Peace to the late great Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Yeah, so crazy. Too. I says trying to stay up all day and night. Drug addiction it's a nightmare. It's a fucking nightmare. And the biggest nightmare is why you are awake. Because you have to live with who you are or what you have become. And you know that you don't really have too many people to blame. Nobody, you know how they be saying, you know, such and such turned such and such out and all that. Nah. Yeah, they got the introduction popping, but they didn't force that shit on you. Not after the fact they didn't. Sucre says, I don't know that applies when you're addicted to medicine. Well, medicine is drugs. Drugs. Shit. The legal stuff, a lot of times that be the most powerful shit. Fentanyl. Because they saying that the crack that DMX smoked was laced with fentanyl. So that blast was off the charts. Oh, he was high. He was high. But, you know, people might say, well, at least when he was high, he died painless. Shit, I don't know if you ever had a heart attack or if you've just had a heart palpitation or any type of heart. Listen, let your heart have some real trouble with it. Feel like an elephant standing on your damn chest and he's stomping. Robbie Mink says, everyone I knew that smoked crack was strung out. The 80s and 90s was ugly. The 80s and 90s was disgusting. Robbie Mink says, whoever gave it to him at that age should be locked up. That person probably not even here no more. Because if they were smoking that shit all the way back in 84, you know how that story goes. She also says, and it wasn't even his fault. If it was the person who gave it to him that at that age and he carried on the drug use. Shaking my head. Yeah. Narsil says, so you were the bully's bully. Yeah, I would defend other people and I would defend myself. But violence has never been my thing. Like I ain't, I mean, when it's on, it's on. But I've seen way too much violence. It's violence. It can't end well. It's violence. It's violence. It's going to end violently. Carol says, what does the nurse color have to do with your height? Shaking my neck. Listen, black woman. First of all, watch your tone with me. That's number one. And from what I understand, you worked in a hospital. So you was a black something. I don't know if you was a nurse or some type of technician, you know what I mean? Practitioner. I don't know. I don't know what you did. But I know that whatever you did, it wasn't the right thing with that attitude of yours. But I'll bet you your white counterparts didn't act that way towards black men. I could be 6'1" in front of a white woman. But you black women want to keep it real. Let me stop. Somebody be watching this joint for the first time. They'd be like, oh, you know what? I was kind of enjoying the show, but I see he on that bullshit. He on that bullshit. Oh, okay. Oh, you talking about not liking yourself? Okay, I hear you. Narcille says, quoting the late Gil Scott Heron. Oh, the late Gil Scott Heron. I'm sorry. On his song Angel Dust. It might sound like one more good time, but down some dead end streets there ain't no coming back, no doubt. Magnificent Morocco says, remember the cars got hooked on. Oh, remember the fine cars got hooked on crack, and I was a sex addict. The fine cars? You lost me on that one. Narcille says palpitations are crazy. Scary as shit. Have you ever fainted? Have any of y'all ever fainted? You don't know how heavy your body is till you have no life in it and it hits the ground like boom. That shit ain't like on TV where people faint like, no, that ain't how it go. Your head don't go down all nice and shit. You fuck yourself up. You faint. Not having no alcohol, oxygen is no joke. Carol Chamberlain says, my doctor asked me if I wanted pain medication for a bum hip. For a bum hip. I was like, no, doc, I can handle this without it. I didn't want to become addicted to any meds. And then now she gets violent again. Throat punch landing. See? that what good can come out of a throat punch? I could see like a little chop. Little chop. Otaki's always said, you have fainted before? Yeah, shit is, yo. I mean, when all of your muscles fail in your body and you just drop that shit, it's like, and I don't know if y'all have ever tried to, if you've ever tried to pick up somebody that was unresponsive or somebody that didn't have the, have muscles strong enough to carry themselves, and you had to, a body ain't that, the weight is not even. It's the heaviest thing in the world. It's a sack of shit. You know, we be seeing, my brother Ansel Jones, we be seeing old war movies or whatever, and you see, people, these soldiers carrying they fallen comrades, like, I'm not leaving you behind, and they pick them up. It ain't sweet like that. You ain't leaving them behind. You try to pick that motherfucker up and throw him over your shoulder. Both of y'all behind. You ain't gonna be able to go far. Yeah. When you lift 175 pounds, 200 pounds on a weight bench, yeah, that's one thing. And that's a good amount of weight for people who never practiced that. But you take 200 pounds on your shoulder, you got to lift it up without no help. You ain't going to be able to do it. It ain't sweet like that. Soldiers are strong because of the basic training. They have a lot of stamina. But there is no drill that I know of where you carry a dead body or a lifeless body, for I don't know, 3 or 4 kilometers. Kilometers. Carol told myself, you felt it, didn't you? Why don't you hush? That point in your life, that point when you realize you've never been punched in the throat. Even if you just touch it, it's like, yo, that's That's not gonna. That can't be good. Sucre says it's the same as being knocked out. Hit the ground. Yeah. Dead weight. Mm-hmm. No, so says that Carol. Yes, he was a hero for us, but a troublemaker to them. Yeah. Some crazy twats. I was the right side is the best. Through punch. Ugh. Fuck around, kill somebody. Rita Reds. Rita, what's going on, Rita? Good to see me some you. Thanks for coming on. See me some you. Thanks for coming on. See me some you. Thanks for coming on. You. Through. You. Through. You. Thanks for coming. You. All right. Carol Chamber says, and Norris, exactly. Notice how anyone who tried to enlighten us died young. Oh, yeah? Well, how you explain Dick Gregory then? Well, how you explain Dick Gregory then? He wasn't young. I'll wait. Well, Carol? How you explain Joe Paterno? I'll be hating on you. Yo. How you explain Eddie Robinson? You know, the Grambling football. Listen, he had the most wins in football history. How you explain Eddie Robinson? Eddie. How do you explain Eddie? How do you explain Eddie? But yeah, man, you know, all day I'm hearing DMX songs blasting out cars. I know that they was playing it on the radio. I mean, the good part about that is like now contemporary hip hop radio finally had some good music on it if they had DMX playing today. God damn. Because I ain't gonna lie, man. I never thought I would see the day where I couldn't listen to any hip hop of today. I'm like, this shit is bad. Bad. It's so bad. It got old heads pretending like it's not that bad. I'm like, you over here bouncing to this beat, but the beat is not that great. Yeah, I mean, but it's all right. It's kind of catchy. Oh, I'm like, no, it's not. And these lyrics are fucking trash from beginning to end. I ain't hear one bar that I like. I know, but you know, they ain't saying much these days, but you know, but they had a catchy line. But today, you gonna hear some what? And a lot of it. So if nothing else, my man Petey Green came through. My dude, what's good? It's gracious. I said, got the DJ lying their ass off. Yes, they are. They are. They lying their ass off. Like, yeah, here go another hot jam. No, it's not. No, it's not. This shit suck. This shit suck. And I don't like sounding like no hater. I don't hate on the youth, but that shit is bad. That shit is bad. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, man. These young rappers, they be dying young. I don't even be knowing they shit. I be like, shoot. I drove my car. I I drove my mom's car. We went to go get her inspection stickers last week or the week before, or some shit. And my mom had her radio set to the hip hop station. I don't listen to the radio. I haven't listened to the radio in well over a decade. More than that. I never like listening to the radio. I never like having my music picked for me. I'd like to pick it myself. Anyway, she had it set to the hip hop station. I was like, what my mom doing? Listen to the hip hop station. And I'm listening to this shit. So I'm listening to this shit. And I'm like, I never wanted to have a CD so bad in my life. I was like, oh my God, we ain't got no CDs. Man, you gotta get some CDs. Something. Listen, I ain't gonna be listening to this shit. And she the old head. And my mom, she think I'm good with it. I'm listening to this shit like, because I'm trying to like, let me see. All right, that song, I ain't like that song. Let me see what the next song sound like. This shit suck. Let me see the next joint. This shit suck. Okay. But today, if DMX ain't do nothing for us, what they really want from a nigga? Lord, thank you. Thank you, D. Thank you. Woo! Woo! Norris Hill says, okay. Hold on. Magnificent Morocco said Desmond Tutu, where Carol Taylor says, who the hell cares about Joe Paterno? Oh, you just not going to even address that Dick Gregory situation, huh? Okay. I see what we doing now. I see. So you just going to gloss over that like I ain't even hear it. Okay. No, so it says, okay, wait. Carol says, the ones you are naming were not the same revolutionary category. There's a better. What? Dick Gregory? Who was more Dick Gregory? Dick Gregory. Who was more conscious than Dick Gregory? He used to be dropping jewels. Mad science. But he didn't die young. He died old. He died old. No, it still says, okay, excluding Dick Gregory, Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, Bill Cosby. No, but I ain't say none of them because they ain't dead. I'm talking about the ones who actually died. They ain't die young. Dick Gregory died old. Rest in peace, Dick Gregory. What should I say? Rest in eternity, or whatever you do in the afterlife, because I don't know where we get this rest shit from. We talking about a dead body. Brown eyes. What's going on, brown eyes? Brown eyes. Brown eyes. How you feeling, ma? Carol Chamberlain says, Cosby played the game and the game played him. I'm just saying. Look, we're not doing that. That's right. Free Cosby. Free Cosby. Dick Gregory was a quiet revolutionary. He was awesome, and they killed him. Okay. He wasn't quiet. He was a very forthcoming revolutionary. That's right. Show a little respect to the old and gone. Okay, let's do these birthday shout outs and let's get on up out of here, man. You know what I mean? Let's do these birthday shout outs. We go get over. We do the birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious April 9th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They R-S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They R-S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Number one out the box. Country Boy Bean, turning 35 years old today. Happy birthday to you, country boy. And also Keisha Woolfolk. Happy birthday to you. And Almalfis. Yeah. Almalfis Perez. Happy birthday to you. And also my girl Camille Parrish. Turning 51 years old today, y'all. Cause she's a 1970 baby. With the blind, with the crip, with the crazy. She's a 1970 baby. Yeah, with the blind, with the crip, with the crazy. And also Denise Allison turning 51 years old today. You know how come? Why? Because she's a 1970 baby. With the blind, with the crip, with the crazy. 1970 baby. And also, Yaritza Ladia Blazer Nobuto, turning 28 years old today. And also Letitia Moore, turning 44 years old today. Bow, bow, bow. And also Sonata Saye, turning 48 years old today. And Ademola Fadakemi, happy birthday to you. And also Monique Gregory, happy birthday to you. And Esther Beatrice, turning 39 years old today. And Arelis Salazar, turning 41 years old today. And also Akan Takori. Like Takizori? No. Akan Takori, turning 36 years old today. And also Kels Slim Goody, turning 46 years old today. And also my man comedian Mario Dion Hodge, California, turning 49 years old today. And Stephanie Laverne, happy birthday to you. Oh, Stephanie Laverne of the 47%. My girl, happy birthday to you. And going all the way back to the 1985, my girl Robin Wood. My girl Robin Wood turning 51 years old today. You know why? Because she's a 1970 baby. With the blind, with the grip, with the crazy. Yeah. And last but not least, my baby cuz Keita Marie McIntyre. Happy birthday to you, cousin Keita. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious April 9th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, listen, man. Listen, man. Yo, DMX, rest in peace. Should I say, rest in paradise, or should I say even more? Yo, in the universe where you are right now, put it down. Rest in eternity. Do your thing in eternity. Watch over you and me. And for the ancestors that had passed, you are ancestors now. It's gonna last for all time, and it goes on and on, just like a line. But when I get there, I'll see you there. For right now, protect us here, and it's gonna be all right. He would say a prayer for y'all tonight. That's my word. Y'all remember his life, remember your own, and make sure you keep the right tone. And I'll holler back tomorrow. No, I won't. No shows this weekend. Gotta work this weekend, y'all. So there will not be a show tomorrow morning. There will not be a show on Sunday. But this is the last weekend. This is the last weekend for this craziness. But it's gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Thank you, boom. Everything is gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. See you Monday. Everything is gonna be all right, and everything is gonna be all right. Hold your head, baby. Everything is gonna be all right. We do the thing, yo, make it all right tonight. It's gonna be okay. Not just because I say it's gonna be okay, because you're gonna take care of the day. You got kids from before, and the way that you raise them is your style, your own. You make sure that you get grown. Get your grown man on. Get your grown woman on. Yo, do your thing. All right. So, peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love you all to death. Resuscitate you and love you right back to life. Please be safe tonight. And but remember the lesson that we should have learned from DMX. Either you're going to be, just like your parents said, you either going to be in the house or you're going to be out of the house. You can't be running in and out. You can't be running in and out. You can't keep running in and out of my life. You can't keep running in and out of my life. All right. So I'm gonna try to have a good night. Y'all gonna go out tonight, you know. I know some of y'all done got vaccinated and all of those shit. And y'all feel like y'all invincible. All right, it's cool. Still wear your PPE. Still protect yourself against people who will not protect you or themselves. So get with y'all later. So let me get blog talk on about it here. You know, it's just blog talk. We're gonna get back with your blog talk. We get back with your blog talk. Yeah, you get back. We holler. I holler. Hey, yo, I didn't tell y'all. Yo, make sure you share the show. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I know it's all after the fact, but shit is better late than never. And for my Instagrammers,
goodbye.
For my Instagrammers, Five Slammer Jammers, thanks for coming through. Y'all appreciate it. I get back. I will holler. I will holler. I will holler. And for my YouTubers, yo, cat, leave me alone. No. I'm gonna get you back. Peace.